As Diamond Distributors closes its doors and mainstream comics comes to a screeching halt, there will be many companies out there that claim this is the time, this is the thing, this is what ended us. Take IDW, for example. This is a company now that's talking about delays, that is actually saying it's going to institute returnability, and that hopes the direct market will bounce back. But a company like that, they could put out a strong letter talking about how this is the time to take action. But the reality of things behind the scenes, it said that the time is come and gone. See, the reality of that company is that they weren't very healthy to begin with. In fact, they were quite the opposite. If you look at some of the numbers in front of you, if you see the net loss attributable to IDW Media Holdings, you'll notice in Q1 of 2019, they lost $4.1 million. Q4 2019, $17.1 million. And just now, before all of this stuff transpired, they were right there at almost $7 million in loss. And what led there? Well, maybe we should ask people like Chris Rael, the guy that's making these announcements, that's now the publisher, the president, and the CCO of the company. See, what's fascinating about that same guy is he was unceremoniously dismissed from this company, but they couldn't find anyone else to take his place. And when he went out the door, the consumers he wants to buy, he decided to call them things like, idiots. Sounds like a fun time, doesn't it? So hey there. So today we return to that wonderful world of comic news. And before we get started, let me say this. I hope you and yours are safe. I hope everything is going well. And if you find yourself short of necessities, you know all of those things these days, well, hit people like myself up. Maybe we can point you in the direction of someone that can help, or we can actually help yourself. I want everyone to be able to stay safe, and I want everyone to have what they need. So when I talk about IDW, I oftentimes leave out controversy, but a lot of people ask about it. So I'm going to include one event. Now, if you want to look up woke transformers, or you want to look up many of their employees insulting people, that goes in too. But Aubrey Sitterson, he is the perfect guy to focus on because all of the statements, they stem from him. Aubrey Sitterson, he used to write G.I. Joe, and this guy, he loved to gaslight G.I. Joe fans. He took that as his job, basically. Now, when he's doing this too, he decided to put out a statement on September 11th that basically said that it's self-centered national tragedy remembrance from people who weren't even anywhere near New York City Day. Basically insulting anyone out there. Now, the guy in charge at the time, again, Chris Rael, the guy that's out there making these statements, this is what he had to say about that looking back. The story has gotten spun in such a way that makes us look like the bad guy, and it kills me that that's the case, because that all came about because somebody said things that the company that I don't own took exception to. But I and a couple of others really staked our jobs on not making a rash decision, on having that person removed, and keeping the book going, and even rewarding that person with a new series. Ultimately, that new series didn't sell. I'm sure there's all kinds of ideas on why it didn't sell, but the fact is it didn't sell right from start, so it had to go away. But somehow, rewarding someone with a new book and not giving in to these idiots who were trying to put pressure on things got spun to being, we didn't support this person. That, I think, is the thing that hurts, because we did. We supported him, kept his job, gave him a new book, and it killed me that it didn't work. See, while the company makes statements that say, hey, we don't support this stuff, behind the scenes, they really did. They rewarded the very person that had been gaslighting fans for month after month after month. They supported it, and they said that the people that took any issue with that, the consumers, they were idiots. Fun times, huh? This is the same guy, when he thought he was out the door, that decided to throw droves of fans under the bus, because if you have a problem out there, you're anti, and you see all of those antis. And well, you know what happens? People close their wallet to it. And the sound of people closing their wallets, it follows this company year after year after year. 2017, for example, this company, its entire year, you see net loss income, loss equals brackets there, they lose $797,000. They lose a bit more too, but they take out loans and on, obfuscates that a bit. But in 2018, you really see what's there. Now remember, this is a company that has about $50 million in equity. They lose $36,022,000. I mean, that is utterly insane. When 2019 rolls around, however, they have a much better year. They go from losing $36 million to only $26.4 million in loss, and they tell you, hey, when 2021 rolls around, we're going to be able to make some money. I mean, forget 2020, 2021, that's our year. And remember, those idiots out there, they are the ones doing this. Oh, yes, indeed they are. They're the ones that staple their wallet shut, and they say, yeah, you know what? We do remember you, and we don't remember you very fondly. And that, of course, leads to the numbers for quarter 1, 2020. And like I said in this, you're talking about one quarter, a loss of $6.8 million. But beyond that, since this is traded publicly, it's almost a loss of $1 per share for anybody that has any vested interest in this. Now, what's absolutely insane during this time is that there are many media highlights reported. For example, Lock and Key comes out, debuting on Netflix February the 7th. Now, personally, I loved the series. I did not like the show at all. It felt like discount Harry Potter, but still, it does pull viewers. They also released to Netflix V-Wars and October Faction. V-Wars actually got a lot of love there too. V-Wars was not bad during its first portion. I actually thought that was good. Season 4 of IDW's Winona Earp. It showcases on sci-fi as well. Also with IDW Games, which is listed in IDW Publishing, they garner $800,000 in orders of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles City Adventure Fall through a Kickstarter campaign, and they receive pledges of $1.5 million to date for the creation of Batman the Animated Series Adventures. They also are preparing to release different things. You can see that in there too. So you have all of this stuff coming up. But while they're doing it, they're losing money hand over fist. Then comes the news that shakes up the entirety of the comic book industry. The only distributor of comic books, you have many publishers. You have Marvel, DC, IDW, all of these places, but only one that puts them in comic book shops. They're going to close down until further notice. They say the following. I won't read everything here, but I want to read this portion here. As everyone knows, the world faces ever-increasing challenges related to you know what that is. It's the effect on comics and collectibles and tabletop gaming industry have been felt far and wide. We are hearing from thousands of retailers they are no longer service their customers as they have in the past, many of them forced to close by government action or to result to in-person or curbside delivery. Even those still open, seeing reduced foot traffic in most cases, a situation that seems likely to worsen with time. Then they talk about their own problems. They have delays. They're experiencing freight network strains because, well, it's hard to deliver anything. A lot of places have closed down. Even their home office, they have a work from home policy now, and this stuff, it's only going to worsen. That's what experts are saying. Therefore, my only logical conclusion is to cease the distribution of new weekly product until there is greater clarity on the process made towards stemming the spread of this. They tell you to, and I think this is actually a devastating statement. Product distributed by Diamond and slated for on-sale date of April 1st or later will not be shipped to retailers until further notice. So we have no ETA on that. Basically, we are shutting down everything until. The same thing goes for Diamond UK, slated for March 25th or later, until further notice. Now, they go on from there, talking about how they see a foot forward and everything, but, I mean, when you look at this, like I said, this shuts down everything. And for a market that's already facing strain, for companies that are already losing millions, can you really have this happen? Now, they launch a letter about this, too, talking about how they're going to go forward. It reeks of desperation. Even their website reeks of desperation. Hey, I don't want you to sell my information, guys. Nah, dude, you can go out and make money off of me. Isn't that lovely? But they talk about how they're going to do right by their retail partners. And what's fascinating about that, why didn't they do right by them for the last few years? You know, if you run off niche consumers, only 30 to 50,000 comic book consumers out there, maybe limiting that market, that wasn't good for those companies. But hey, what do I know? I was just a person that back when would have actually braved all of this mess to get my comics. And now myself and a lot of other people, we couldn't care less. When this stuff comes back, yes, you will see a blip where people are saying, yeah, we have this back. But a lot of people are going to fall out of love with comics. They'll never, ever come back. And you know what? what? I recorded this to showcase the reality versus the fantasy, because this thing, it may be that proverbial death knell in the mainstream comic industry, but losing $36 million, losing $24 million, losing $7 million per quarter, that says you were never viable to begin with. But anyway, you tell me what you think. So to close this out, I want to simply say thanks, sincerely. I mean, your time, it is valuable. You spend it here. I don't want to monopolize it, but I want to thank you for it, because companies like that, they have forgotten it. And you know what? That's fine. They don't want to value you. That is their prerogative, but you are valued here. So like I say, I hope you stay safe. I hope you and yours, you make it through things. And if you need help, well, ask for it. But anyway, I'm going to end here. And again, thank you. Appreciate you.